So Jeff places this boat in the water and says the phrase I need to say, which I forget what it is exactly. I want to say it's meta-wise, I think it's the word ship or boat in Norwegian. I forget what it
Yeah.
was, but
I
they
guess
say that word.
it's-
And it seems to this boat made of like this icy boat seems to spawn out of nowhere. It's basically a long ship, but a little bit larger, albeit you guys are probably understanding that it can change size a little bit, even beyond like even on a more normative form. So it's not too big. And you guys assumedly get on board. It has a somewhat icy presence to it, but isn't too uncomfortable. Okay. I believe I have the map set up for you guys. Awesome. Do we have anything playing right now? You're not something on?
Yep.
Oh, we do. Okay. All right. So, where would you guys like to set sail?
We set sail with
Nope. That's where we're going.
with the Wet-Elk.
Mhm.
All right. So now that we no longer have anyone from like the clan that's specifically good at this, and also you don't have Abaddon, are any of you adept at sailing ships?
Nope.
Uh,
Okay, who's
Yeah,
going to be
sure.
the? So I will have one of you. So do any of you have proficiency in water vehicles?
No.
Oh,
Or any of you? I don't know. Maybe one of you did. I'm not sure.
I always
Um,
thought I did, but I don't. Unless, like, I fly.
I have
uh,
proficiency in navigation tools, but not sailing ships.
Okay, well, either way, one of you, well, at least one of you, I'll say, I would like to roll a survival check then.
Right. Who has the higher survival?
I would assume it would be me.
How much do you have?
Let me get my
Stop
character.
metagaming. Ask him in character.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh. Oh, right. Sorry. So, who here has the best handling with ships?
I've been on a boat before, a few times.
Likewise, but due to my status, I was never allowed to drive it.
Mr. Yagram, how are you with with driving water vehicles?
Well, when it comes to water vehicles, I'm not exactly trained. I could give it a shot, but I think there's better people you could ask.
I mean, if we all chip in, I'm certain
I've
we aren't sailing that great of a distance. We could row if need be.
I'm fairly decent. I am a fast learner and a visual learner at that.
I've been on a boat a couple times. Wasn't paying attention.
All right, Miss Nicholas, I think maybe you guide us, and we'll do our best to aid you.
Why not? I
I'm using my action to attempt to help.
so I guess we just grab paddles, unless there is a active steering wheel.
Well, yeah, no, there's a rud and everything, so I think
Yeah,
Ian will have you make a survival check, and I'm offering my help to make that an advantage. Ideally.
Well, I can roll again, but I already rolled normally. Got a 22.
so you guys managed to, well, before I actually say, is anyone like, of the people who aren't focusing or helping kind of sail the ship, is anyone doing anything else, like staying on watch, or
Snowcap is staying
doing
on watch.
anything in regards to this time, like I don't know, like trying to fish. Well, this seems a bit short to do that, or anything, or like trying to like in case you're trying to put in case there's extra items you need to put on the ship, or like is there anything else you're doing?
I'm keeping watch.
Okay. In that case, I would like you to roll a perception check.
All right.
Or and anyone else who's okay. All right. So you guys managed to start to set sail. The location you want to go isn't that far. It's several miles away. It's well, I say several. It's around at least 5. I would like to say. Let me just check. No, it's a long. Well, yeah, just barely. Yeah, like 4 to 5 miles. And it's relatively a straight journey there. You notice, well, you don't seem to notice anything of great significance initially. However, after a little while, you do see of a distance to the north, something kind of emerged from the sea a little bit. And I would say that Snowcap would recognize this as a whale. Definitely larger than a killer whale. Likely a blue whale or a sperm whale. Is quite large. You can do a nature check if you'd like to identify it. However, oh wait, actually, yeah, actually, I was gonna say however, but I realized neither of you had seen a particular other thing that would be of note, but so I won't mention that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you guys continue sailing. Amethyst, or not Amethyst, sorry, Sardonyx and Nornalus.
Hmm.
You do not see the Lingbacker. Meaning, if the person who you last saw on the Lingbacker was potentially still on it, they are not nearby. Meaning, they are not in these waters currently, at least nearby you. At least, and hence, they're either still farther out of the sea or had already gotten ashore and have moved inland.
Okay.
Given that you did not see this person at the Elk Fort, I'd say that you have a pretty unclear idea of where they even are. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, as you start to approach Wet-Elk, those kind of looking out for things, Snowcap and Reagrum, you guys would notice that this settlement seems, or this place seems to have a working dock. It's hard to say if it's necessarily the best, but it's certainly something that likely was installed at a later point for whatever reason. But near this dock, there seems to be strange, like, greenish creatures in the water. At least, like, 3 of them. You continue to approach. What would you like to do? And actually, with a 17 and 24, I will say that these creatures I can describe as the following. They have, they look to be somewhat scaly, at least to some degree, but they also have what looks like hair as well, almost like a mane. And their face looks kind of, at least it's hard to tell too much from a distance, but it looks vaguely cat-like, while also having a kind of like generally aquatic look.
Reckon it's a catfish.
Close, but not quite. Do you guys continue to head ashore, or do you have a different? Do you wish to do anything in regards to this discovery?
Can you describe them quickly again?
They are these green, somewhat scaly creatures that also seem to have a mane of sorts. They look to be aquatic for most part, and they have a vaguely cat-like face. You can roll a nature check if you'd like. Albeit, I'd say if you get particularly closer, I'll give you advantage.
Um,
Okay, in that case, are we to I'll assume that. Wait, was it 10 and 17 both from that, or was it 10 from a previous nature check? But I might be
the 10 was for that whale thing.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, in that case, just 17. So with a 17, given their general appearance, you would know these as, well, sea lions. They are essentially a strange, well, oddity that's are sometimes seen around these parts, albeit they aren't the most common. They're not as dangerous as dire walruses, but they are a nuisance. They might be something that might be harder for you to deal with as compared to dire walruses, just because you seem to have had some decent communication skills of some last time. But with these creatures, it's been a long time since you've seen these things. It's not to say that they're like utterly unknown here. They're just kind of more of like a, you see a couple of, they tend to be in small groups and aren't necessarily always in season.
Like, around how many are they?
What did you say?
Like, how many are they?
There
Like,
seems to be 3 of them.
guys, for free sea lions up ahead.
I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. Do you want us to wave to them? I'm not. Thank you. Good to know. Yes, thanks. We'll keep an eye out. Did you have some interest in them? Do they have? You wish to befriend one? It wouldn't be the first time we've befriended a random wild animal. We had a the name was Mr. Cheddar, and they were a very large rat. So, was it a friend you were looking for?
Mr. Cheddar.
Yes.
Mr. Snowcap.
I doubt these guys are friendly.
Okay. Okay, well, I will keep an eye out.
Seem to have congregated near the docks, but one of them seems to move closer to some rocks that are a little farther away. Okay, I would like you guys to roll someone to roll a 1d10. Okay. You notice that one of them does stick near some nearby rocks, but the others seem kind of close to the docks. Do you kind of still try to aim for the docks, or do you want to try to try to reach this area a little bit farther away? I will note that the area around here, or more so closer to the tower, is dotted with like a kind of a cliffs of sorts. Not intensive cliffs, but around at least possibly as high as 40 feet. As in, it could be a lot. There's cliffs in other areas that are a lot higher, but I'd say around like 20, with higher portions being in 40 feet.
Understood.
Really?
And actually, a lot of it being around like 10 to 15. So, to answer my question, where do you go?
Alright, boys. Am I docking or what?
I see no reason not to.
Okay. To the docks you go.
you guys end up kind of moving rather close to these things. I would like you to put your characters onto the boat that is present. Also, I initially had just planned a little bit differently in terms of setup, but some things have changed, mainly due to playing, but also I
what
had
the
less
fuck
time to do
happened?
stuff because my desktop died. That's my only excuse for using a giant canoe for this. I do
You're
have a
fine.
token somewhere for proper stuff.
What the fuck? Why is that keep happening?
Hmm?
People are kicking me, huh?
I don't know what you said. It vaguely sounds like you said something in Scottish or Gaelic.
I don't know nothing.
I think they're just talking to themselves.
This
Oh,
is not me. Who the hell is that? That is an
what?
imposter.
I'm confused. That was your token. What's
That
happening?
token was way off.
Why was it way off? Does it not look like your token?
No. Okay,
It
that
looks
is
like
my
you.
token.
What were you getting? It looked the same.
No, like my HP was off, my armor was off. I was like, that is
Oh,
not my
I was
token.
confused why you said that because the image looked the same. Okay, and I would say that the rest of the Jevaboo would be in the back here. Same with okay. So as you kind of move around, these creatures seem kind of defensive of their current locations, and they kind of snarl at you as your boat kind of nears these rocky shores. It's clear that you guys seem to have made effective time. I'd say I forget the exact speed, but I'd say you got here right around like 40 minutes, a little under an hour. So and they look a little bit they look a little bit defensive of their current location. What do you wish to do? Oh, I'm sorry. Ignore some of the tokens on the land. I forgot to get rid of those. There we go.
Hello. I say, trying to like speak to the beast.
You have that ability?
Yes. That's how I talk to the dire walruses.
Okay. Can you understand them, or can you just speak to them? Sardonyx, do you have like a fan blowing on you?
I can pretty sure I can understand them too.
Is it to speak with beast spell functionally, or?
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. You're much more effective than I'd be then.
I would like you to so I would like you to roll a
Why are they rolling?
for now I'm gonna say animal handling.
All they've said is hello.
Oh yeah, because she was just that. So yeah, you don't see an immediate reaction to him just yet. They seem to kind of look in your way. You're not quite sure if they fully understood that or not, but they seem to at least. I would say the one on the dock seems to look directly at Snowcap, or perhaps they might be looking at Yagram, but they're looking towards you two at the very least.
We would like to dock here.
Roll a persuasion or animal handling check. I'd say that you're not fully clear if they like fully understand what you're saying, but they seem to look a little confused, or at least, well, you think you're not really sure if they look really anything. Their form is not something that communicates emotive expressions that well. They seem to kind of hiss a little more and snarl a little bit, looking a bit defensive. Still. However, due to the presence of the boat, they do kind of like, or at least the size of it, they do seem to like back up a little bit. I'd say this one moves a little closer. And this one seems to back up slightly. Is anyone else trying to do anything?
Can you say more, Mr. Snowcap?
What did you say?
Well, it appears you greeted them and said nothing more. Are you... You can speak with them apparently, so do you wish to handle communicating more? Did they reply back?
Oh, I'll wait for you to speak.
Does not seem so.
Should we take that as freedom to move forward, or... Hello?
I think we should move forward, but do not drop your guard.
Alright then. I suppose that's what we'll do.
Just keep trying talking with him. Kind of see if you can build up a connection with him or something.
We won't hurt you as long as we're able to dock here safely.
You guys are moving the boat up?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys move the boat closer. And seemingly start to dock. The creatures look rather aggressive. However, they seem to at least hold their positions. One kind of moving a little bit onto the, I'd say slight left side. But one of them seems to move a little closer on the docks to your boat. Do any of you approach?
The creatures themselves?
Yes.
No.
Or the dock, or the area, or the actual dock, so that you can try to, dock off the boat, like tie it off.
Yeah, I'd try and do that.
Albeit you okay.
Wouldn't
Albeit you can always desummon the boat once you get on the
I can.
docks.
You sure about that, Yakro?
I'll look. Might as well make first contact. If they're not gonna talk with us, might need to do the first step here.
Shouldn't we be a bit safer? It would be safe for me to go, no?
By all means, take the lead.
I can just. Oh, no, I don't think that.
As you fly to the cliffs of a snowy cliffside, you notice this area seems to have gotten a bit more snow. Albeit, I'll just say it's not quite as snowy as it looks, but a bit more snow than the town you were previously in. The creature kind of seems to look up at you, Sardonyx, as you kind of fly around a little bit. The thing seems like a little frightened, as it kind of looks at you a little bit as you kind of fly over. And seems to, how do I do this? It seems like it looks like it's about to dive in the water.
It cast Fireball.
Oh, you did?
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Sorry.
The creature looks hesitant, as if it's going to like scurry into the water or not. It's possible that the visage of wings like cause it to become unnerved. You're not unclear, but Yagram, as you approach, are you just kind of doing anything in particular, or how are you intending to tie the boat off? Assuming the creature's right there.
Guys,
Yes.
sailors have spotted I just wanted to, like, I know you said it in Snowcap room, but I want to confirm I do know.
Yeah. Those are creatures that have been. Did I list that? Yeah. Those don't look to be tundra manticores. But you know
Yeah,
that tundra manticores have been spotted in this region. If that's something like me, so sorry. You wanted to say it, but I think.
and I would probably approximately know what one of them, like, at least looks like, or have some general information about them.
Sorry?
The rumors of tundra manticores are probably true.
What rumors are those? This is the first I've heard of them.
They are not tundra manticores.
No,
But look how it reacted when it saw the flight of sardonyx.
okay,
I
yes,
think these guys have seen tundra manticores.
I mean, there's many birds of prey, so while that's possible, that's not necessarily entirely the case.
I doubt these things get much trouble from eagles.
So we should be
Hey,
wary of.
hey, sea lion. Have you seen any tundra manticores?
It just kind of looks at you, a little confused. It looks to kind of looks to some of its other like creatures. I guess its fellow bestial, like whatever you want to call it. I guess you could call them sea lions. And seems to kind of look back at you and kind of snarls a little before this particular one seems to dive into the water.
I'll get up on the dock and ready action for an attack.
You're okay.
It's better to go quickly.
Yes,
Tie
yes.
on the boat.
Don't need to tie on the boat. Or yeah, we do.
We don't need to. We can just shrink it
Yes, no, I
again.
was about to say we don't need to do that actually.
Then let's
I would say
have
we do just to steady it while we land.
No, Javabu can just shrink it again and hold it, no?
Well, look, either way, we should hurry up. Come on,
Yeah.
everyone.
I'd say that Jevabu starts to get on the docks or so. It tries to move if you guys kind of let them. Albeit their weight kind of puts kind of a bit of force on the docks. They try to get off rather quickly. As this creature kind of looks around, they see Jevabu as this kind of big, foreboding, like large figure, and they seem to kind of dive into the water as well.
Okay, I really don't know where this is going.
I would like you, let's see. I give us a Jevabu here. Snowcap, and who's? I guess just Snowcap. Snowcap, I would like you to roll a nature check.
Depending on what this is on, beasts are my favorite enemy. So
Quick question: do you only have one favorite enemy?
I have two because I am a level 7 ranger,
Okay, what's your other one?
a giant.
Okay. Did you see the thing I post? I forget if I meant to mention this, so I did it recently. because of you attuned to Vo, I add another ability, which I meant to kind of have another something like this, which will give you another one. I'll let you think about that in case you haven't seen that, but I don't want to frame this too deeply, because I don't want to force you into this, but I'll say it. Let me ask it this way. I guess if you were to have a third one, what would it be? I guess I'm not gonna force your hand too deeply, unless you don't
Hmm.
know off the top of your head.
That's what you said.
Damn.
Um. One sec. I'm just quickly looking at the
Otherwise, regardless
Yeah,
if your answer, okay, we don't
probably
necessarily
the
even if
probably
you
either
don't want to
those
have it be that.
or
I don't fully understand what you said, but okay, yeah. Either way, I would say that you know for a fact that whatever these creatures are up to, it's likely that they are reacting to kind of stimuli, or at least that they associate with either dangers or perhaps things they are kind of afraid of per se. However, you at the very least know that these creatures have been known to kind of dive out of the water and jump at people. Kind of like almost like kind of like how a saber-toothed tiger might hunt in the kind of like hide itself amongst like grasslands or like snow or whatnot to leap at a prey. Meaning, staying upon the docks for too long, knowing these things are nearby, could be a danger, especially if you're alone.
um away from the shore now.
Oh, I was meaning
Away
you.
from the
Sorry, I missed
shore.
Oh, I was okay. Why?
Away from the dock too.
I would say that Jevabu would, until as they're moving, say the word and kind of grasp at the boat to kind of pull it into its small form and keep walking.
Are you going to explain why?
We don't want to be ambushed by them.
Okay.
I mean, that's a fair answer.
Very fair, if you ask me.
I assumed they were running away from us because of the manticore worry, but all
Cap,
right.
you would also know that tundra manticores aren't the only particular danger around these areas. There is something you have heard rumors of something else that's a little more regionalized here, but you're not really sure. It's something that's a little stranger. There's these flying creatures that some have described as like vaguely coat-like, and others have called like almost like a stingray kind of, but not quite. Um, some have seen those things at night around these parts, and those things would also simply be flying. So that could possibly also be something that might trigger a reaction here when they see something flying, albeit given that description, it's possible that like more feathery wings might not necessarily, indicate that fear. Albeit, I think that actually, sorry, that end point I feel like is a bit much from just without having to do a skill set or anything. Sorry, a check or anything. But generalistically, you kind of get what I'm talking about. Either way, as you guys kind of move farther into this place and move up kind of along the line going deeper in, what you kind of would notice here is there doesn't seem to be too much out here. most likely this site, maybe when it was functional, likely had a lot of non-permanent structures like tents and things. But right now, there only seems to be around 3 structures of sorts. The first of which is this large sword made of what's likely stone or something else, maybe metal, that seems to be kind of encrusted with like snow towards the top, and clearly has, well, what looks to be some type of carving of a woman on it of some kind. At least on one of its sides, at least the one you can see. But may have had a carving on the other side. Additionally, the other structures visible are a small, a decent sized, like, stone house of some kind with no roof that seems to have been largely damaged. And then a tower which has severely damaged sides, but to some degree, but at least it's like overall more structurally like together than the building right next to it.
Before we get to the tower, we should check out. We should check out over here, and I like kind of point to over there.
That was my idea as well.
Tower should have a large basement underneath, but it is riddled with traps and likely creatures.
Sardonyx, I would like you to maybe Norris, but definitely Sardonyx. I think Norris could possibly do this as well. I'm mainly doing this for Sardonyx due to her educational background. Roll a insight or history check. Okay. Given a place like this to have a basement, generally that could mean that this maybe was a place of storage for things, and that could be reasonable. But given the idea that it might have traps can mean a lot of things. Either perhaps the storage was kind of valuable and that they might have reason to want to protect that, or perhaps the area had become or been used as a catacomb, and that might be something they would like to protect, or there could be items of which they have stored here that they feel the need to protect that might be specific to their clan, or perhaps even or perhaps there's some other circumstance, maybe possibly even like religious significance or who knows what. But given there are so many traps in there, makes it a lot more of a potentially interesting space than just a more normative basement from like an archaeological point of view.
Noted. I guess we're still heading towards the statue.
As you move about, you could hear the sound of a wave smash against like the coastline. But other than that, this is not that like, there's winds kind of swirling around. But other than that, it's not necessarily a hugely loud location other than those factors. I mean, you could say it's loud because of those things, but it's not. It is there isn't. You can't hear the sound of it. There's not like a lot of seabirds present at the moment, nor are there like people or anything. It is a somewhat remote area, especially given like even though you were in a town not too long ago, this general area is fairly kind of remote. I would like, as you kind of move through those areas, I would like, first of all, sorry, Norris, are you staying in your current location?
No, sorry, I'm moving up.
Okay, because that would matter if you were.
No, I'm moving with the group.
Okay.
Never split the
Where
party.
did Sardonyx and Snowcap go? I don't see. Oh, there are.
They seem to move to the sword.
But I
okay.
don't see them on the map.
While
at all.
you did that, quick, as you
oh
walk
no,
up
I'm
the
blind.
sword,
I'm blind. Sorry.
What are your passive perceptions?
18.
20.
Okay.
18.
I'd say that
I think mine is I don't remember.
I'd say Normalness and Snowcap, at least those. I don't know what Sardonyx's is, but at least you two, you would notice there seems to be tracks in this. There seems to be a mixture of sorry. Well, because of the more recent snow, you might not be able to see every indication of like stuff
Mine
about
is
the last couple
16.
week. However, you would see a single group of tracks of a medium-sized creature wearing either boots or something functionally similar, seemingly moving from the south, going north onto the kind of this pathway up to the a tower, and seemingly the tracks seem to lead inside. Also, for context, this map is flipped. This coastline would be the north end, and more inland would be the south end. I just thought it looked more visually interesting this way.
Alright. You
Oh,
said
nice.
towards the you say I see trash going in towards the tower.
Yeah, they seem to be coming inland, going like kind of assuming towards and assumedly in the tower. Yeah.
Okay. I make note of that and point
They
it
seem
out
to
to
be.
drop.
It would indicate like it would be a singular person. It doesn't seem like a group. It looks like a track, like one person's tracks.
Understood. Sir Drop, did you see those footprints as well? Fuck you, tall man!
Hey, damn. That was so spot on.
Um,
Put sword back in mouth.
for Snowcap and Sardonyx, and I guess possibly Yagrum when you're getting closer. You happen to
Yeah.
see what looks to be on the sword a like deep carving, or maybe even well, no, I was gonna mosaic. That's the wrong term. But a elegant like carving along this this large sword that appears to be of well of a potentially religious figure, albeit you're not immediately certain. Roll a religion check, both of you.
Roll a religion?
Yes.
I don't think I'm good in religion.
Well,
That's
not
the-
one.
that's- Okay, well, that's 12. I think you. Okay. Yagrum, you don't know who this is at all. Amethyst, you have some guesses, and I think your best guess would be Scotty, but it potentially could be, maybe Freya, but you're thinking Scotty, but it's possible it could Freya just because on a sword, and Scotty's not typically associated with swords, but like, it could kind of be mixed. It probably isn't, um, yeah, what's her, who's Odin's wife's name? It's not Freya. It's very similar to that.
Uh,
Whatever her name is, I can't believe I forgot.
Frigg.
Frigg. There we go. Frigg.
Frigg.
It could maybe probably not Frigg, but it seems like it probably is your first guess. But you're not fully certain. For a 15 Snowcap, you'd say you think it's Scotty. Scotty, from your basic understanding, would be a god that is worshipped by the Old Order clan. And they are considered to be the daughter of the another god who shit, what's I for some reason I remember the more of the weirder, harder to pronounce name. Sorry, Fiazi. They are the daughter of Fiazi, a different god, which apparently Fiazi is a god who has notably died sometime in the last 1,000 years, likely around 400 to 600 years ago. It seemed to have died. something Sardonyx would know quite a bit about. Fiazi is again a god that is worshipped by the Old Order clan, and she represents winter, to some degree archery, and several other concepts, making her kind of similar in form and function to Uller, a god that you'd be more familiar with, Snowcap.
Yeah.
The image shown seems to have runic-like tattoos on her body, and she seems to have bow in hand and seems to kind of be reaching up for something, as if she was to grab the sword with which she is placed upon, almost. And that's what's shown on the side of the sword you guys are looking at. However, as you move around Snowcap, I would like you to... I'll use that same religion check. You see, though, surprisingly, a different figure, which looks also to be carved, albeit, now that you kind of look at it, the carving almost looks a little older. It's hard to really kind of tell, but at least maybe older is the wrong guess, but it could be older. At the very least, it looks like it's carved in a different style, and it seems to be a bird. And given your religion check 15, you would know it's Freysvelgr, a different Jotun god, a different giant god, which is associated with, well, also winter, but also death and wind. It is it's kind of believed that cold wind originates from Freyvelgr's wings, albeit that's not quite, maybe not in a literal sense. And there's also general belief that Freyvelgr, one apparently created or had some significance in the potential creation of a race that you would know as Sirens, which, now that you kind of have been around Sardonyx for a while, unless I forgive, she's literally introduced herself as one, she does seem to have a lot of the features that people associate with Sirens, albeit to half extent, as in you would also know of Sirens that have more aquatic features. But you would know that. And additionally, you would know that Freysvelgr was worshipped by the North Eater. Wait. Yeah, that's it. The North Eater. Why do I think wait, Sardonyx, is called the North Eater clan?
Yes, Lord Eater.
Okay, for some reason I was thinking it was like something else, but I say, okay, yeah, the North Eater clan. For some reason I was thinking, is it Mouth Eater? Why am I thinking it's North Eater? Whatever, but yeah. Wait, okay, it wouldn't have been Mouth Eater, like North Mouth, I don't know, whatever. But either way, the North Eater clan, another clan of Goliaths. Meaning that this structure seems to have association with two different clans.
What do you see down there, Snowcap?
Come over here. You want to look at this?
Huh? Interesting.
What are you two looking at?
It's a monument.
To whom?
Interestingly enough, it's associated with two different clans.
Is that a good or bad thing?
Potentially very good.
Age.
Sardonyx, you would know that if it were, per se, Piazzi being shown on one side, it might be an indication of like a more general religious context, or maybe even a connection between your clan and the Old Order. But either way, that first thing would make more sense just because they're father and daughter. However, uh, these two gods are relatively not like that associated, other than their, associations with winter and coldness and all that. Meaning it could be perhaps something to indicate the site is associated with cold or something. Maybe it's because of snow, or it could be indicative that at different times those clans may have occupied this area, and thus this stands as a remnant of those different points in time. I'm giving you that without having to do like a history check or anything. I think given your circumstance,
Wait.
I think that'd be a reasonable thing you could kind of think of.
I get an idea.
Hmm?
So, over here, the god of the cold wind was here.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that mean that the cold wind would be blowing this way?
We can check. I'm gonna do something real quick.
Wait. Oh.
I don't know if this is going to work. Can I spread my wings
No.
to feel the to feel the air, basically?
Or, there's flags over here. We can probably see the direction of the wind for the flags.
But I want to feel it.
Yeah, where's your whimsy?
I don't even know if I want to have a perception check to feeling. Yeah, I guess a perception check to feel the wind.
Yeah.
Albeit it's gonna be a low bar. Well, maybe not. Yeah, roll perception check.
Where is it? Where is it?
Could be
The
bad.
wind
Could be worse, man.
does indeed seem to be flowing inland at the moment.
It would seem your hypothesis is correct, little Snookup.
Do you call them that?
Call them what?
Little Snowcap, that felt wrong.
Wrong? I used to call our friend Tin Man.
You don't know them that well yet. It just feels overtly formal. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm an
if
old
some
soul.
things of my past has taught me anything, maybe we ought to be a bit more trusting, no? I give nicknames to almost everyone I like.
That is fair.
Tracks. Snowcap kind of looks at the tracks and and when did it last snow here?
I don't know. I'm not from the area. You probably have a better idea of that than any of us.
Roll a survival or
inspected
nature
tracks?
check. Like when did it last snow? You're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll survival or maybe nature. It seems to have. First of all, it is snowing a little right now. I will say, in case I didn't notice. Sorry, in case I didn't specify that, it's snowing a little now. But it seems to be most of the snowfall likely was in the last day or so. Meaning, any potential like tracks from previous may be covered up, for at least the exception of the one you've seen so far,
Sir
which
Andre,
could
can you
entail the
come here
recent.
real quick?
Yes, we'll just.
I would like to inspect the difference between Sir Andren's fresh tracks and these.
Okay. Do a survival check.
Wow.
I want to know, like, based on when he, like, basically fresh tracks, not even a second, can I deduce the time that the person would have walked through here?
So,
Like, is it roughly within the last hour, the last
okay.
2?
Given you got a 24, what I'd say is you can kind of look deep at it, and you're like, okay, to answer this first, what is, okay, meta question, Norlis, how much do you weigh? Like, how much does Norlis weigh currently?
I have written down. I weigh
Should be in your
220
character sheet.
pounds.
Okay. Oh.
I am a lanky boy. Tall as fuck,
Okay.
lanky as fuck.
That makes it harder for me because I'm not. No, okay, let's see if this person. Let me just check one thing. I'm not expecting as helpful as a. Let's see. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, this is not gonna help me. I'd say that at the very least, they're. It looks to be that Normalist has a good bit of weight to them, and so does this. It's possible that their footwear might be a little like heavier, or might be made of like material that might compact the snow a bit more. Which that difference would be meaningful in kind of getting an idea of, okay, how much is there actually a difference between like how deep your like feet are versus how much kind of snow has kind of accumulated. However, once you kind of guesstimate over that, it seems to be that this person could have as recently gone through here as perhaps 20 to 15 minutes ago.
Well. That's even scarier than I expected.
So, what I will also say is that the whatever they were, you kind of notice something. It looks to be, and I might regret. Okay, meta-wise, I might regret this, but we'll see. Their like tracks kind of have this some to a flattened look, but also some kind of like little indents towards certain parts of it to kind of clear treads, but also some of it seems to have an imprint that seems to be of some kind. Like it looks to be of some numbers, and some of the tracks are a little more clear. And it seems to be like a number code. I'll say it is okay, meta-wise, give or take, I might retcon this later on if this ends up being something that's really dumb or really bad. But not in terms of a number, but just in terms of concept. But it does seem to have a code written on its like the foot, like obviously on its foot or on its boot or whatever it is. There is a like a number system on it of some kind.
Right. So these tracks are roughly less than, I want to say 35 minutes old.
Interesting.
So whoever it was came through here. approximately a bit before we boarded. So if we are going in here, we might as well be very careful.
And be anything but, yes. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
Move forward inland or into the structure.
Everyone seems to be interested in the structure, so that's where I think we're going, no?
Probably should check out this area first.
Things seem relatively serene, albeit even though you're kind of looking at ruins. There doesn't seem to be too much kind of out and about. You see, like, I'd say you'd see, like, maybe bits of cloth here and there and some stuff, but most of it looks to be bits of old wood, some of it's more recent, but people try to maybe make lean-tos and whatnot from this little area, or perhaps even rebuild. But a lot of the stone looks relatively old. You can do, if you'd like to kind of search the site greater to look evidence for any, like, anything else, maybe like old like bonfires or anything you can't else, you can do a survival check or a perception check. Actually, that makes more sense. Either of those. Otherwise, I'll assume you guys start to enter the structure. Okay. Yeah, you kind of look around a bit. It's clear the snow is kind of made a little like kind of hidden some stuff, but you can kind of see like some grouping of rocks here that does kind of imply that at some point, you're not possibly in the last, week or so, there was some type of small campfire set around here. And there looks to be some evidence of perhaps a tent somewhere that was at one point present here. It's hard to get guesstimates because you're looking at kind of bits of where like a Pitten would have been like jabbed into a rock or in cracks, but it seems like you could indicate that. Just whatever that tent is or where it is just no longer here. You would also notice like a little bit of blood or dried blood towards at certain parts of a rock, indicating perhaps a fight that might have happened a week ago or later or previously. You see a couple of them indicating perhaps it's a related thing, or maybe this is multiple different like fights that may have happened in the last couple weeks at the site. Given that there's some dangers that happen during the night, it's not unlikely that could be the source of it.
We don't want to be caught here or out during the night. We should get inside.
Sense.
Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's get inside.
Yep.
Okay, so I was just typing something. There we go. And I will switch to music in a second. I will drag you guys down. I'll say for the time being, at least for the time being, next session I'll kind of change this, rather quickly. But I'll say that Jebaboo and Drought are staying upstairs for the time being, just to make this simpler. And I'll put you guys down.
Okay. Snuck up, they have a moment.
And so what you guys do is once you kind of enter the structure, there's a clear staircase, and with an assumption that you guys have gone down that staircase, you've gone down what seems like 60 to 100 feet.
Yeah. I replied to, I think Yagran, who like wanted a moment with me.
So, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Back when I was still in my old tribe, there we had people similar to your skill set, yet they didn't seem to have that, I'd say, deep of a connection with the land around them. You truly seem to be I don't want to say in tune with it. Is that something that comes naturally to I'd say forestmen, rangers? Is it something you're taught? Is it something that you discovered by yourself? How did that come along?
I've had experience tracking dangerous creatures for during the night as one of the night watchmen.
So you took on a few nighttime hunts, and that permits you to cast magic? I don't mean this disrespectfully, I'm sincere in this. I'm just surprised. I mean, with people like me, paladins, you take an oath, a 13-year-old could do it. He says he's gonna marry his village sweetheart. 4 years later, they marry, he gets his powers, but all of a sudden. But with rangers, I just don't get how it happens. I'm perplexed and incredibly, incredibly curious. Did you have a mentor who taught you this stuff?
I think as it went on, when I learned the land a lot more, it just slowly started coming to me.
So it was a gradual experience.
Yeah.
Peculiar. Very, very peculiar. Frankly, that also counts for the rest of you. How
Oh
do you
shit.
folks?
I fucked up massively.
What's up?
Okay, meta-wise, after this session, I'm going to rework the structure of this because I made this way smaller than it's supposed to be. If you would like to like RP for like 10 minutes or so, or like 5 minutes, I can get this fixed. But this map is way
Take
smaller than I meant to be, and that
take your time.
matters.
Take your time.
Yeah,
Take
take
your
your
time.
time.
I think
Because
we were about to get into some
because
serious
a lot of the
RP.
traps are not aligning up right, and I
Yes.
kind of fucked that up.
Yes.
Ian, take your time. Take your time.
Okay, full disclosure. This is only because my desktop screwed up today. I meant to get this done earlier today.
Take your time.
Sorry, what were you asking, Mr. Yagram?
Sorry, I had a little bit of a brain freeze there. I don't know what happened. Heard the voice of God telling me to ponder a moment. No, I was just questioning a little Snowcap here about his journey into where he is now and how he got his powers, and I find that oddly peculiar. Now, as for you, Mister Andren, I understand you're a scholar of sorts.
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
Right, so I can understand where your insight into magic and the way the weave of mana works. You've probably spent most of your life reading about it, experimenting with it, getting your fingers dirty with all the nitty gritty parts of magical components.
And wait,
How did this?
that's mostly correct. Yes, no, it's a lot of formula, speculation, theorizing, manipulating the energies that our plane is made of, utilizing ley lines. It's terribly technical, and it was the only form of magic I was capable of learning because I do not possess talent elsewhere. I am not musically gifted like our dear Miss Nicholas is. I had no oath I could take like yours is. I I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding of the magic in which that young Mr. Snowcap uses. I While it can be classified as magic, yes, I think it's more apt to say where I manipulate energy through theories and forms, they manipulate nature in a way that behooves them. When they cure someone, I'm not sure if you noticed, it's not a healing light, it's a salve that they pull out of their pocket. When they do a thorny vine to grasp, they actually cast seeds out that quickly sprout. It's through their understanding of the base roots of nature and the understanding therefore of that allows them to manipulate it in a way that can be seen as magical. I wouldn't say it is not, but I wouldn't say it perfectly is either.
So sort of a grey zone.
Whereas a someone who was born with magical proficiencies in their blood, they I'd say more accurately than most use magic. I
Yeah, last
use
time I checked, when I cured people's wounds, I pulled out literally nothing.
yeah no
There's no.
I was making it up on the go.
Yeah.
Well, be that as it may. I mean, be that as it may, ultimately, the one that kind of makes me ponder reality the most is you, Miss Nicholas. You strum an instrument and you can either kill a man with it or heal his wounds, make him better at something, and it's how do you do it?
Uh, I I don't know really. I
You don't know.
it just speaks to me. The things, the wind, the uh, everything just speaks to me.
I am. I'll be honest. I I am more surprised by that answer than everything I've heard in the past 5 minutes. It just speaks to you.
Yeah, magic is wild and untamable. I
And yet we have none of us over here who tames it, uses it.
not really tame,
I
more or
wouldn't
less
say tame nor use.
channel.
I'm more of a copier than anything, I'd say.
So
It's
you say
like,
that
Mimicry.
think of
I
this:
think I mimic
a
really
metal
well.
rod, and you just pass lightning through it. He more or less channels the magic.
he's a conduit. He doesn't create it.
That's
Uh,
certainly
im-
a way to look at it, yes.
I, if that was offensive, I apologize. I did not mean for it to come across like that. I have been told a couple of times that sometimes my way of wording things has resulted in one or two backhands. Most of them deserved.
You're fine. It is only natural for one to be curious. I think for me, I think something and it kind of happens, I guess.
Truly, truly remarkable. And so the big fella, he's I assume his strength comes from his bulging biceps, his fairly sturdy core, and his legs that are twice as wide as me.
If his magic comes from,
Magic?
yes, no.
He's a caster?
Indeed.
He's, I'm,
I
no,
assumed it
no,
was a
no.
magic item. I assumed it was some magic item.
I let him
I,
turn into an animal.
yes.
I guess that is fair.
I have heard of swords that can decide fate in your favor. I thought people of his kind, that the those who fuel their strikes with rage don't have the focus or the I don't want to say concentration because fury, it takes concentration to bring yourself to that edge, that to that frenzied state where you only feel rage. But he's a magician.
He might be a big
Not a magician. He's more of a nature-y sense. He
a very gentle
he's
lad.
mentioned that he communes with the spirits of nature themselves. Actually, I've not had enough time to sit down and actually properly talk with him about it before. But
I have heard of such phenomenons. I have heard of them.
phenomenon.
Rare. Yes. I'll just call them barbarians. Crude name, unprofessional, but it's just the best name I can come up with right now. I've heard a few barbarians manage to channel spirits through their anger, let them be guided by them. Is that what he's doing?
No. I think it's like he's picked up two trades. I think he's a little in column A, little in column B.
Oh. I am very, very happy I've come across this colorful and odd group. But I think we've dilly-dallied enough, I believe. We ought to get going. I apologize for keeping you all stuck up for such a long time. It has been on my mind for a while now, and I just needed answers.
It's no bother. I think that's... We're not in any terrible rush at the moment. This is the most leisurely time we've had available to ourselves in some time, so answering questions when they arise this is the best time to do it.
No, alright then. But I still believe we should get going slowly but surely.
Right.
Okay. Well done. Let's get a move on.
How I'm gonna do this is I will kind of describe certain things as you go, but any questions you have, anything, just ask. Sometimes I'll kind of describe things as you move past them, but I'm not going to necessarily like say everything, so a lot of it will be up to you.
I got a question. Did we level up?
Yes. No.
You did say us.
You're level 10.
Aw.
You think you leveled up from like me taking time to set up the dynamic lighting?
Yeah, explaining the fundamentals of everyone's magic, totally worth level up. This is sarcasm in case I'm not conveying it well enough.
Okay. What I will initially say is that you kind of walk through this area. There seems to be some type of like panel with some writing on it, likely etched into stone from a while ago. Some of it looks more recent. There seems to be a torch, which looks like it was maybe lit recently, perhaps, but there's a little bit of smoke still to it. And this looks like there was previously perhaps a gate here that's no longer here. Otherwise, this area is kind of, it's definitely a stone structure, and it's rather dirty down here. It's not like there's like dust and, dried stuff, maybe little bits of like lichen here, there, little mushrooms here, there. It's not like the most clean space by any means.
Is there like what's written over here?
You would see it looks to be something written in common up top, and then giant below that, and then something written below that, at the very bottom in giant, that looks to be etched on like recently, like it's in a different. It's not like done finely. It looks like someone got like a knife or maybe a chisel or something, and just kind of like went about it after the fact, as in years and years and years later.
Well, I do speak giant.
Okay. The comment says, "This place is not for you. If you value your life, you will leave it alone." In giant, it says, "A resting place, but not that alone. What is guarded here is both secrets and items of great significance. Why this site in particular is chosen for such a thing is complicated. But what can be said about this place is that it stores information and knowledge, but in a non-typical sense." Okay, full disclosure, I do not have that written down, so I'm not going to repeat that exactly at the same time. Um, then at the very bottom, it seems to say, "That wicked creature has stolen forth what we wish to find here."
Wait, what was the most recent one? Like scratches.
I'm really happy you asked that, because that's what I'm typing now. That wicked creature has stolen forth what we wish to find here. That appears to be in giant, and looks to be, more recent. It could be, in the last month. It could be in the last couple of years. You're not exactly clear, but the writing above looks like it's probably been here for some time. Perhaps like 50 years, 100 years, 200 years. You're not sure, but how long the writing above has been. You do know that at least at one point, this was for a long while. This was this above. It was an active trading settlement. It isn't anymore. And given how small the little what's above, the idea that there'd be a lot down here is a bit surprised.
I kind of repeat what it says, the giant portions.
Okay, by the way, I actually am gonna edit this a little bit. I'll read it out. The dead rest here, but not that alone. There are objects of significance here, but also secrets and knowledge. This place is made difficult for those who wish to steal these things. But and that's what I'll have written. As I don't really need to. Yeah, I'll type that up. Here we go. Yeah. So again, the middle thing was essentially the dead rest here, but not that alone. There are objects of significance here, but also secrets and knowledge. This place is made difficult for those who wish to steal these things. And then the first
Is
thing
that
that said was basically just a warning, and that was in common, meaning there's common, like a more detailed answer essentially is in giant versus the like simple like warning, don't go further in here is in common. Which would imply that the people who made this place were, of giantkin, perhaps Goliaths. Albeit that was kind of something you might have already had an understanding of, given your like the basic knowledge of this place, and the sword that you saw outside.
yeah? Yeah, what's going on over here?
You see a dead person who looks kind of small. Um, it's they might be a short human or maybe a halfling. You're not fully certain, but it's possible they might. It's either a tall halfling or a short person. One of those who seems to be dead, and given their general look, it doesn't look like they died very recently. They look like they're decomposing. You can roll a medicine check, or maybe survival. It's probably a medicine check. Determine how long they've been dead if you wish. But they definitely look not recent. They're also not like a full-on skeleton. Yeah, you're not really sure. It's more than a day, more than 2 days. That's maybe. I mean, you'd think at least it's a day. That's about all you know. You have no clue how long. It could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, it could be a week and a half. You're not sure. No clue.
Are ready to explore here?
What's the rest of you doing? You guys can move your tokens to kind of explore deeper.
Yes,
And
yes,
don't worry,
yes.
I've planned things out so it will work well with the current like situation.
I think I kind of stay back a bit, try to keep an eye out on anything.
Yes, that's wise. I am hovering a bit, should in case I step on anything.
I will say this place is probably around a lot of the spaces you're in right now are around the ceiling is around 10 feet up. So Nox, you see some more stuff. I mean, do some of you, I guess both of you walk past another like a skeleton. There also looks to be some trash or some broken chairs, a old like cauldron or pot or something here. It looks like a club. And then you kind of get out to a more open area now, and you see what looks to be this weird substance. It looks like a sheet of metal almost, but it kind of looks it looks kind of liquidy as you get kind of closer. Um, it looks a bit odd. And it has these pillars in it that not all, but a lot of them look kind of wet almost, and they have these spikes upon them. They're not fully wet, like portions of them seem to be kind of wet. Um, and look a little different than the substance below, but not too much. But they're definitely they don't look like they're composed of the same material, neither the like wetness or the actual structure. But either way, there are these posts with spikes on them extending out from this thing. How deep the potential liquid is something you have no idea on. Yagrum and Norlis, are you guys doing anything? If you stay in place, I'm assuming you're staying in place. That's my point. Okay.
What is there like a weird smell in this place? Because
Uh,
something that big would probably put off a
there was a
smell.
lot of smells in this place. But I would say like do a perception check.
Wait, who? Okay.
You are getting from this direction like a weird soapy smell, kinda. It's hard to kind of weird chemical, maybe soapy smell. And from here, it's got a different smell. It's like a I'm picking something up so I can give it. Okay. No. There is. And I could be wrong on here. In case there's like some chemical thing I'm familiar with, but this doesn't smell like anything.
God. You'd think that something that big with that much liquid would smell like something.
What are you talking about?
Either way, whatever this liquid is, it's metallic. It's definitely metallic. What were you asking, Sardax?
Like, was I think it was Snowcap that spoke.
Oh, I thought you spoke. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Grum, you notice the torch next to you kind of looks like the torch you saw earlier, where it's there's a little bit of smoke still. It looks like a torch that was put out, like as if like it potentially recently. You're not sure how recently, but it definitely seems like it may have been like at one point there was it was on rather than a torch that has yet to be lit.
But who would put it out because no one came back? The footprints are only one way in.
Well, the footprints are not coming out from the tower, but they're going into the tower. Just to be clear, meaning that whoever was down here is assumedly still in here. Unless, of course, they were skilled and just walked right in place in the same footprints they were. However, at least from what Sardonyx got, they don't seem to be, like, notably deeper, so that's probably unlikely. I'd say that you could maybe, like, I don't, given the dusty nature of this place, it's possible you could try to track footprints in here, but given it's stone and a bunch of other things, you're unlikely to get good results.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume they never came back up. I do not like to look at that thing.
What even is this?
I do not like to look. I do not like to look. This seems like a trap. Careful.
So, just checking that.
I'm gonna kind of pay a little bit of attention to the ground. See if there's like anything weird. Any weird places.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome to. Go for it. If you wish to try to use, if you have any spells that are specific to checking traps, let me know. But if you wish to roll perception to kind of or anything to confirm what you might think, you're welcome to. Like, if you wish to try to confirm this is a trap, you're welcome to roll a skill check to determine that. Albeit, there's a couple different things that can work. I would say probably I think generally investigation would be what I'd recommend. What I would
Yeah.
prefer.
Yeah, I don't have any trap specific things.
Also, I would say I'm not sure if all you saw this, but I think definitely at least Yagram has, at least close enough. You notice there seems to be a statue out from like past the weird metallic substance. There seems to be a stone statue of a Goliath of some kind, albeit it's not too detailed on the too detailed to determine like definites, who seems to be riding a moose.
Well,
Kind of dressed as a knight, kind of.
would it be obvious to me that this is a depiction of a moose knight?
If that connection could be made. I mean,
I mean, it's
wait,
riding
did I
one.
mean how? I'm sorry. Quick question. Did you meet Attic? I don't think you did. I'd say you've heard of the idea of moose knights, and there's a thing that's been around here for recently. I'm not saying you necessarily met one, but like I think you could make that connection. But I will say that you're. Yeah, I think you would know that. Yeah, I think I can make we could say that. I'm just saying there is the idea of like the title Moose Knight is a more regional thing, and I'm not sure how long you've been in this particular area. But yeah, I'd say you would like you could make that connection.
Yeah.
As in knowing that's a thing that exists is mainly. Sorry, go on.
Who of you guys is well versed with history?
So far.
Alright, well, I don't know if you two mind giving me a little bit of an insight on this particular statue over here. Might tell us something about the dungeon within, or the
I think it's a
catacomb.
moose knight.
I've gone that far, but I'm assuming it simply by the fact that it's a statue in a fairly rundown ruin. It's a title more than it is, or a position more than it is one singular person.
No cap. I'll get to you first, or at least get to you since you roll something. Are you using that investigation on a particular spot?
No, it's just for the traps in general.
Well, okay. I'd say okay.
I'm sorry, I just got back.
I'd
My
say
sister
that in
called.
this vicinity, albeit this is more to identify something specific as a trap, but you do see, and within your kind of range, what you notice is that there seems to be kind of amongst the floor a lot of these areas that have groupings of indented like little holes, and you because of dust and dirt and grime and the stonework and a couple other things, and also just it being dark down here, they're not the most obviously noticeable thing, but also they're not extremely well hidden. They're just more hidden by a combination of circumstance and materials and the fact that this is not lit well. Um, but either way, they seem to clearly be some type of trap, likely that fire up some type of piercing object, perhaps spears or something similar. That's most likely what caused it. Whether they're indicative of, you don't see any obvious um, like additional kind of stones that are nearby that seem to like look like they're pressure clad, meaning most likely the thing that causes them to go off is stepping on the area of the holes. At least that could be assumed. That's what I'll
Does
give
any,
you with a 20 free, and that's your guesstimate of these structures you're able to kind of notice.
does anyone have rope?
Um, I believe I should.
Hmm. Is it wise to check out this structure then?
Um, Let me see.
Hmm. I can fly to it. If anything happens, pull me back with the rope, I guess.
I think I've got a length of rope.
Hmm?
I think I've got a length of rope. Uh, yeah, I've got some. You want to tie yourself up with it or what?
Sure, this.
Alright, Snowcap, you might actually be a lot more handy here than me,
Yeah.
uh, what kind of knot would you recommend for pulling someone? Because I just probably make a noose. I doubt that's gonna be
Okay.
very healthy.
This bitch.
Hmm.
Look, I,
Maybe a
I'm gonna post a not graphic for help. Let's see.
yeah.
look, I've not done a lot of.
To give you yeah. Sorry.
I've mostly been sleeping in caves, mate. I don't know a lot about knots, survival tricks, all of that. I don't know that stuff. We got a ranger right here. Make use of it. So,
Maybe a just a normal knot, maybe the bowline knot would actually be decent. I know
right,
we do not want a clover hitch.
Uh,
right. I'll pretend I'll know what that is, and I hand you the rope.
okay. I was gonna say like the knot I remember from Boy Scouts is a square knot, and if you screw it up, you get make it granny knot. And then there's like two others you had to know, which I think was either a bowline or a taut line hitch or clove hitch.
Yeah, but I think my character would be.
It'd be reasonable. I think it's a survival skill they would probably know, especially if,
Yeah,
they're not. I'm not saying they're like super nautical, but like one of the things they probably would learn is like some stuff to help hitch boats to the nearby docks and things.
and also like knots to like set up like tents or knots to secure a bow to string a bow.
Not to just carry a bunch of shit around.
Yeah.
Alright, mate, you got 150 feet of rope. I think that'll do it.
Okay.
So
I'll
are you
start
just tying it to something or tying it to yourself or what are you doing necessarily?
tying it to me.
Okay, tying it to you.
I'll hover a little bit so I can like get over here. Well, I've been hovering this entire time. All right, so wish me luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So are you flying?
Yes,
Just
I
to
am.
reconfirm? Okay. By the way, if anyone wants to try to identify the liquid, you're welcome to. I would say it's an Arcana check. Albeit I could
I mean,
able argue
while
nature.
I'm here, I can.
Okay.
Come. Damn. I don't know shit about this liquid.
Okay. I would like you. Okay. Quick thing. Did you move? Did you move here, here, and here? Is that correct?
Here,
Okay.
here.
As you move away, this the weird wet substance you kind of saw in here suddenly moves out as if it's part of like a continuous liquidy substance and seems to like jab and prick at you. I would like you to see if it hits. Oh shit! There was another issue with me doing this. I'm gonna use physical dice. Give me a second.
Oh,
Where is
oh.
we're gonna oh come on, it's right here. There we go.
Oh, I guess
I
that
have a
rolls
D20.
out
Let's
when I
go.
thought.
Okay.
When
Oh
I
shit.
heard the information, I thought it would be like mercury that would like rise up as temperature went up. That was my guess, but I don't think it's that.
Um, is that a guess towards what just happened in terms of her, or do you mean in terms of what the liquid is in below?
The liquid is below in like that was my initial guess before the
Okay.
sardonyx.
What did you roll?
Oh no, it's out of character.
No, I
Okay.
rolled
I
a
don't want to know. I don't know if I want to tell
21.
you like yes or no on that. If you roll, I'll kind of include your thoughts in that though, if that's your character's thoughts. Okay. Yeah, you notice this strange substance seems to kind of lash at you. Uh, does a 16 hit?
It does.
Okay. One of them seems to miss, but the other seems to kind of like hit you. For I would say um, uh, 4 bludgeoning and 8 acid. I would like you to roll initiative.
Well, what? Okay.
You now see this odd slime-like substance that seems to have kind of it just looked like kind of a wetness on these spikes and like these iron or steel structures wherever they were, but it seems now that they've kind of struck out at you. Their form's more clear, at least kind of. Wait, I need to pull up the thing.
While rolling initiative,
Yeah.
I assume so.
I'm assuming to get a surprise round on us.
Yes, albeit I think that just was a surprise round.
Okay.
Mhm.
Unless you feel that they would get an additional. I mean, that kind of was
no, you're
that.
absolutely
So
right.
yeah.
I was just kind of talking before I thought about it.
Mm. Okay, and getting hit's not going to affect your flying, is it? I don't think so.
No.
No, it's not. Okay. Yeah. And let me just. I don't have D&D. I don't have Beyond 20 on here. I keep forgetting I didn't have it. I thought I installed it last time I did this, but I guess not. Okay. Yagrum, you go. You just saw Sardonyx seem to have been lashed out at by this strange ooze-like substance that seems to have been kind of garnered and slathered upon these like iron or perhaps steel like pillar of spikes.
But by these things or by
These,
this?
well, these spikes. So these spikes, and there's this weird. There was initially these spikes like
Uh,
kind of had this weird wetness to them. It looked a little different than the stuff below, and now that they've kind of lashed out, they have this more continuous, obvious form. But like it's the wetness has now kind of made clear. It's this strange, like ooze-like substance. Albeit it does look a little bit distinct than to the liquid beneath.
Okay. Um, I'll bite the bullet here. I'll run into the liquid.
Okay. First question.
Yeah.
What would you describe your character's footwear and legwear to be?
Footwear, I'd say heavy, sturdy leather boots, something to keep out the cold.
Do they
And
okay? Do they have exposed skin anywhere around their like ankle or no?
no, I'd say they go till about mid shin.
Okay.
Like serious boots, something to stand cold.
Okay.
And as for pants,
Uh,
I'd say just
I would
warm
like you to
linen.
then. Okay, if that's the case, I would just need you to roll a dexterity saving throw. This substance is rather slippery.
Oh, okay. Dex save.
It seems to like kind of not fully, but partially kind of hold your weight. It feels weird. It's a very buoyant substance. It's like you as well. I guess it's almost like with water you can kind of float a bit, but this is like way more of that. You just kind of barely hold your own, kind of staying in place, but you feel like if you had slipped a bit more, you could have kind of slipped back or slipped forward into the spiky structure.
Ooh, hold on. I'm gonna make an attempt to destroy the spiky structure.
Oh, not
Wait,
rather than the. Okay, I'll save it. The kind of thing around it is kind of like lava portions of it you could definitely attack. But are you saying you want to attack the structure itself?
better said, I want to kind of hit both. I want to hit the slimy thing, and I want to see if I can, with enough force, shatter whatever it's on. You know.
In most cases, I would say it's a little unfair, but in this case, I think that makes sense, given like what you're likely if you're to hit this thing. If you hit it hard enough, you're likely going to go through it and hit the structure. So that makes sense to me. Versus if it was like a monkey or something or a bird, it's like I
Yeah,
want to
no.
hit the monkey and also the tree. Feels kind of weird, but in this case, it kind of makes sense to me. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a slime-ish creature. Just
yeah. As
from
this
the
thing's
looks.
lathered around like a lot of this portion, so you could easily do that.
Okay, yeah, I'll do great weapon attack with that.
Okay, is that a magical weapon or no?
Yes, it is considered a magical weapon.
Okay.
Does it hit?
Let's see. What did you roll?
It's a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
That hits actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, Sardonyx, I had a quick question. Are you wearing magical armor currently or no? This is very important.
I'm actually double checking.
Seems to smack this thing hard enough that it like
Ooh,
it
I do
congeals a little
have
bit, and the like
a
the weird ooze or slime or whatever it is seems to kind of slide off out of its kind of hold on the structure, and seems to kind of hit the kind of floor a bit, knocking up like a little bit of a splash as its like weird body seems to kind of float at the edge of the surface. Clearly, it is a different color, at least to some extent, not deeply, but it's a definitely a darker gray to the liquid below.
Okay. Then
And your strike seems to. Which is a quick question: are you using a maul or a
yes, I'm on.
sword? And you definitely do make a big, nasty, like kind of crack of sorts in the structure. Uh, I'm not like you don't necessarily break it fully, but it definitely kind of like makes it feel like this structure perhaps has more hollow parts than it does, rather than it being fully like solid like steel or iron or whatever material it's made of.
Okay.
Possibly, I would also say you kind of deal damage to one of like kind of smashing up at least to like some of the spikes fall off, not all of them, but like maybe some of them near the positioning of where you hit.
Very good. I would then like to use a bonus action on one of my psionic dice to cast Psychic Blades. And yeah, I would like to make an attack on the oh wait, the slime's dead?
It fell. It seems to be. It fell. What I meant to kind of say is it fell from where it was hit, and then it kind of just lays vacantly. Kind of. I mean, I'd say it seems like it's dead. It might not be dead, but it doesn't seem to. It seemed to have fallen from its place, and is now like potentially lifeless.
Okay, I'll take a chance on that, and I will use it. I'll use my Psychic Blades to attack the slime on the other pillar. May I?
Yeah. Go for it.
16 hits?
Yeah, it does. How much damage you do?
9.
It doesn't seem to kill the thing, but it does seem to rile its form a little bit. It kind of like little like waves in its body seem to kind of be present. It seems not. It's not. It's hard to say if it likes or dislikes a thing, but it seems like it's a negative. It like hurts it per se, and disrupts its form.
Oh, you see, after Yagram slams his maul into the pillar, he takes his left hand, sort of green bluish small sparkle appears and he quickly throws what appears to be a spectral cookery knife into the pillar furthest away from him.
You got psychic damage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say that it looks a little like, I'd say it discolors a little bit at various points as you kind of do the damage. It's like it kind of shifts, but it looks like its coloration's like a little weird, as if it had some, maybe nervous system's too complex, but maybe it's like you've disrupted its like certain cellular processes or whatever briefly.
Okay.
No, it's your turn. Unless, if you want to. Actually, you can. I'll save it. You guys can end combat here if you wish. But I'll let you choose. Do you want to end combat here? Your two visible enemies are dead. As in, do you want to be kind of now lax, or do you want to be like you still use turn rolls to be careful? That's a choice I'm giving you here.
Norlis.
I need a yes. Oh, sorry, go on.
Huh?
My question is, I'm asking you all, do you wish to end the turn order and continue as normal, or do you wish to act as if there's still a potential danger?
Oh, so there's a chance there's still danger.
What I'm more so saying is that given that the same liquidy, like, wetness kind of looks to be most of these things, it could be that the rest of these are also have that substance or have that quality or maybe have these creatures living on them. That's all I guess that's a little bit more. I just want to give you the option to if you want to end combat or not. That's all. Since your enemies are dead.
Sure.
To what? To which one?
Yes, to end combat.
Okay. Alright, back to let me get that.
Could somebody help me here? I nearly fell on my ass just walking over here. I really prefer not to get ankle deep in this fucking sludge.
Yes, I'll help you. Here, take my hand.
Okay,
Alright,
quick question.
Easy does it.
Does Yagram have any experience with alchemy at all? Like, did you have expertise in do you have
No,
proficiency in like alchemy tools or anything like that?
no.
Have they ever seen? I don't want to give it away. Have they ever
He's seen
seen
a
any
flask. That's about the extent of
flask?
it.
Okay. Have they
That's about
seen
the
any objects that are used to measure temperatures?
water.
No, to measure temperatures.
Yeah, you put water on it,
Okay,
it's
very good.
boiling.
I didn't want to say the thing directly because I don't want to give it away too much, but I'm already kind of giving it away. Oh, you rolled a 20? Okay, yeah, Snowcap. Actually, well, yeah, Snowcap. Since you kind of have a night, like, kind of look at this drug substance a little bit, and you haven't seen it that many times. Given its the way that Yagru seemed to move on it, combined with its appearance and also your other personal reasonings, you think that this substance is mercury.
Oh fuck no.
These creatures are likely something that can either aren't poisoned by mercury, or maybe they're lucky. You're not sure, but whatever they are, they seem to be capable of like being near it. I guess you're not actually sure if it necessarily poisons them or not, but given their location, they assume that they might move through these things unless they were given life right onto the structures they were at. You're not really sure. Either way, though, I'd say that. Okay, at least I'd say that Snowcap, Nornless, and Sardonyx. I'm not sure about Yagram, but at least those three, mostly Snowcap because they were able to identify it, would know that mercury is something that can be considered a toxin. in terms of skin contact.
It can also produce toxic fumes when heated.
I would say that this area is 50 degrees at most. It's I generally underground structures, especially caves, tend to have like kind of a general temperature it kind of sticks to. So I'd say it's 50 at most. So somewhere like 45 or 50 or 55, somewhere around that range.
Okay, I'm gonna need the Americans
Fahrenheit.
here. Is 50 Fahrenheit a lot? Like, is that very hot?
No, that's like
It's
kind of cold,
chilly.
but not too cold. It's chilly.
Okay,
It's like
because so good.
oh yeah, so I'm working with people who don't know Fahrenheit. Sorry. Despite me
32
being
is
like a person who
freezing.
did a lot of science shit, so I should know
32,
Celsius better.
32 is freezing.
Got you, got you.
In
So
It's
70s, like
comparable
room
to 10
temperature.
Celsius. 50 Fahrenheit is 10 Celsius.
50 Fahrenheit is 10 Celsius. 30 is 0.
Wait. You're right, yeah. So oh yeah, I forget the equation, the formula is like, let's see. Fahrenheit minus the, wait, 92, oh, yeah. I
Fahrenheit
forgot the
is
funny.
more precise.
I remember learning the formulas in chemistry and whatnot, or to compare it. Or also, I used to teach them for my physical geography course. But I have a lab I taught. But yeah, back to the thing. And by the way, we're probably going to end soon. I mean, normally I think we go later, but I think this is a good time to end, especially given circumstances. But I'd say that you guys, like as you're kind of doing this comment, you kind of hear in the distance. There seems to be like kind of a sound of some weird like flappy sound of sorts, like a weird almost gelatinous sound combined with some like someone seemingly to kind of hitting the wall, or perhaps like there's definitely some type of potential skirmish going on over in a different portion of this area that you can now kind of hear, um kind of echoing through this area, probably to the north of you. I'll let you guys do some basic stuff around here, and then we're gonna end. If you have any like
Okay,
so
I
Alex,
was
did you
gonna.
wish to identify that statue?
Yes.
Okay. Do a history check.
La, 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 la.
You're
Jesus.
not the most familiar with this particular figure, but you would get that given some of the details present, and given that they don't appear to have particularly a certain kind of armor, they're either the first Moose Knight or one of the first. If they are the first, um, they'd be Jasper. Jasper, the Moose Knight, who was the first Moose Knight from several thousand years ago,
Okay.
predating the war that happened between the giants and the human and the Grissom.
Noted, noted.
The main case
Basically,
here is like it's hard to like it's not that there's a lot of sculptures of this particular person, but the fact that there is one, and given the context, it likely would be the first one or one of the first, because after several many generations, um they made armor that was unique to the Moose Knight, and this does not have that armor.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you wish to who else didn't want to do anything basic around here?
I
I'll get
wanted to
that.
read whatever was here.
All right. You see there seems to be a column that has has writing on it, built out of a statue of a bear with an axe being like stabbed into it. It seems to be in giant. It reads, "For Skungy was killed by that merciless foe. Luckily, their owner of sorts, or perhaps friend, took revenge. For now, that which was used to harm it is now in our hands." And you see by the axe, there is this weird indent, like next to where the axe would be, like right next to where the axe, like the stone statue, like the statue portion of the axe is, kind of where it's like stabbing into the bear. There's like an extra indent, like that looks like you could like put in another axe almost, or like another. Maybe it's like you could slide something in. It's kind of weird. It's like they made the hole too big, but it's kind of like it's odd. It's almost as if like it's like a sheath kind of, but it's an odd thing to have that. It seems strange.
Um, you also described that there was a smell up here. I think you described it as like chemically.
Yeah, it smells kind of soapy, kind of chemically. It's a little weird. It's now that you see it, it's like this weird, colorfulish kind of like substance. It might contain mercury amongst other things, but kind of like has like a almost like soapy smell. It's kind of complex. It's whatever it is, it's definitely something that's more chemically complicated than just having mercury in the other room. And given what it looks like, it might end up, and also the what looks to be spikes on the wall, perhaps this substance is also slippery?
Yeah, my guess from the like colors would it either being soapy or like oily, but the fact that it probably smells like soap means it's probably soapy.
Either way, did anyone else want to do anything? I'm sorry about this kind of awkward circumstance.
You're fine.
Okay. In that case, that's where we're gonna end it. Um,
Can I do one thing? Can I do
sure.
one thing? Just for the fuck of it, I'm gonna dip my finger in the mercury and take it and put it in my mouth.
Okay, roll con. Oh wait, what? Yeah, roll con save.
Oh my god.
What did you get?
Nat
I'm not
20.
funny.
Oh boy. It doesn't taste like anything. Um, you kind of like it's not. It doesn't like its texture's kind of eh. It kind of seems to kind of slide off your like out of your hand from your mouth and onto the ground. But so it wasn't on your tongue for very long. But like it's you don't seem to be affected by anything if it had some effect.
Kinda tastes like surströmming. Not very nice. Not a lot of flavor. What is this
Oh,
shite?
let me rephrase it. It does have, I guess, a metallic taste. Okay, I'm using the AI overview. Let's see. Because I saw. Okay, let's see. Um,
It seems to have more of a metallic taste when you're being poisoned by it.
So what is this shite?
It's
yeah,
mercury.
it doesn't taste like anything.
What's that?
It, it's a liquid metal that rises when the temperature rises.
Metals on liquid.
This one is.
None of this.
Yes.
Why is this liquid?
Um, it's just the natural state of this element. It's what it is in nature's choosing. The same reason air is breathable and water is a liquid and stone is a solid. It is just that is how it is made. That's the core of its element.
That severely infuriates me.
I
That
believe
is
it's
so.
one of the very few metals, if only, might only
That,
be the only that uh exists in a different state than the other cores.
nah, that still pisses me off. Why is a liquid? Grow a spine. I kick it a little bit and walk back.
Take a second con saving throw.
I got big old boots. That shit don't
See,
Yeah, it's
count.
not.
because since because you're wearing boots, like any stepping in, it's not gonna be a con. And if you're stepping, like I'll say, depending on what direct account, well, okay, yeah, if you're just moving away, I say you don't need to do one. But well, albeit, at least not now. But if you were stepping more than 10 feet or
Um.
so, I'd have you do another dex save.
Uh.
What? A what?
You also
Wait, how
want
do
to
I?
have a taste?
You okay?
I
So did he say he tasted it again?
No. I was asking if he wants to take another taste.
Oh, I didn't hear that, so I was confused.
how do I whisper? Like, how do I whisper on roll 20?
On roll 20, let's see, like to type something, or do you mean to whisper a roll?
To
To whisper a
like type something.
roll,
To type
uh,
something.
I don't know. I forget how you. I think there's a way to like you type in something prior. You can look it up. I forget. Let's see. I forget how to do it that way. How to whisper a text in roll 20. To whisper, simply type /W and then the name of the player or character you wish to engage via whisper. So you could just do like /W space ENF, or maybe just I'm not sure. Yeah, ENF, or maybe you could like maybe GM will work, but I think it'd probably just be ENF. Or EN for
Yeah,
short.
that's
That
not fucking
is
working.
that is not.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Okay,
With this.
wait. Who? Oh,
Yeah,
oh
I
shit.
did it.
Oh, you're right. Yagram, do a dex saving throw.
A deck save?
Yeah. Okay. You step onto an area and suddenly, but like, you feel like the floor lowers like slight, like an inch, and suddenly, like, spiked, like spikes slide up, slashing like your body a bit, like into your dealing, I would say, uh, pin piercing
Jesus.
as they kind of slide back down briefly. Do you move out of the way or do you stay in your position?
I move out of the way.
Okay. They seem to have only briefly been up for like a second before receding back down.
Yeah,
And there was a little bit of blood there.
that's just fucking great. This place is booby trapped.
How have you not seen it?
Context, look up. You figured out what the structures were and were able to do that. You could have kind of told them what to look for, but I am happy that they didn't notice it. I like that in character. That kind of works. I was trying to get it to be not that noticeable.
Oh, I noticed these things from the start.
Albeit they're not also not super duper hidden. I didn't want to make it too hard to see. Since I was keeping it on the map later, and it's keeping it on the map and not something I could add on to Roll20 later on. But okay, is anyone doing anything else around here?
Let's go and inspect
Final.
these spots a
Okay, there
little
you go.
bit.
So I'm just gonna do that then all in. Okay. Yeah, you see a bunch of like clay pots of sorts. Some look like little urns. Others look like they're possibly broken. They all look rather old, and possibly couple hundred years old, maybe much older. Who knows? You can do a investigation check if you'd like to kind of investigate them, kind of look through them, that kind of thing. Or other checks, religion if you want to see some things. But yeah, they seem to. Some of them contain ash. Others contain some coins. I'd say you'd find up to uh 10 gold coins. In some others, you find bits of paper that are largely illegible. They seem to have been kind of destroyed by the process of time. In another jar, you find a bunch of mouse bones. Um, and then with the words kind of gritty, kind of carved on the exterior of one jar. And then um, I'd say you'd find one that has a gemstone in it.
Give me my gem.
Get clean. Okay. Let me see if I can find a good description of one. Wait, did I click the wrong thing? Okay, I did. Oh, I did. Let's see. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Uh, it seems to be a, I'd say it has a, hmm, eh, it has this reddish, maybe brown, like, let me just rethink this. Okay, I know. Yeah. Oh shit, I clicked the wrong thing. Um, yeah, it seems to have a, like a red brown, I'd say, in terms of like, uh, yeah. It's a reddish brown hue the gemstone has. And I'm gonna see if I can get an image. Another thing. It seems to look like uh this. And don't just reverse image search or whatever. Oh, wrong
I
thing.
girl, you didn't post shit.
It looks probably it's
Well,
not that perfect, not that intricate, but it looks like a lot that coloration, but more rough, obviously.
I have I know a decent amount about gemstones naturally. This looks odd to me. It looks like it wants to be a spinel. That is my only guess. That's what it. No, that
Okay,
is
you
just
could
a straight
roll.
up
Did you like to
spinel.
roll in does your character have a jewelry uh a proficiency for like a jeweler's kit?
La, 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 la. I do not think so. What should I roll?
Otherwise, I guess roll nature check, but I'm gonna look for a higher thing than if you had a jeweler's kit. Jeweler's kit, I think you could probably just know it. You think it might be a spinel, but you're not fully certain. Meta-wise, that's what it is, yeah. Okay, yeah, as in you're guessing right. I don't know gemstones well enough to guesstimate. But yeah, or to give you a better answer in case this is like since I looked something on Google, I don't know if that's a great
Wait.
answer. I know for a lot of minerals, those are funky. Okay.
You are
Sorry
fine.
for,
You are fine.
okay. We're gonna end here. Sorry for a little awkward session. I had to kind of change things last session because we were missing the person that was gonna be introduced. I didn't want to get too far ahead, but I realized if I did it this way, I kind of had to have some stuff in the way. I wasn't originally gonna do the stuff with the sea creatures at all. Well, sorry, originally I was, but then I discussed with uh, Toast about some stuff and how they wanted to be introduced. So I was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to do that just because I want to give you extra time, but then they weren't here, so we ended up doing it anyway. And I think what I ended up doing worked out time-wise. I'm happy this functioned well. Okay. You guys can now do boom points.
No, I have one to give this time.
Not like there was some. I was good. Right. Now I don't remember.
Who would like to go? Wait, did you say, what did you say, Norris?
I said I don't have
Like,
one
who
to
would like
give.
to go? Oh, okay, very good. I thought you, okay, I wasn't clear what you said, sorry. I thought you said who wants to go, but I was kind of, okay. Who would like to go next? Diagram or Snowcap?
I think I would give mine to Yago for
You.
that insane feat of trying to taste mercury.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna give mine to Yagrum for the like kind of like talk about the magic stuff.
Mm.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna give mine to Snowcap for actually having names for the knots. I legit did not know fucking any of them besides the Hangman's not
Full disclosure, I posted some images that had not, like, for not stuff, I think they just wrote off theirs, but yeah.
Oh, I was
I could be
googling
wrong.
knots, but I've seen like a few like short like YouTube shorts about like knots and whatever, and I know the clover hitch is more of like I don't know attaching a rope to like a pole, and probably would not be it would not be very useful for tying to a person.
Okay. I'm gonna give mine to two people. One to Snowcap, one to Sardonyx. To Sardonyx because of the way they describe her magic as being things just kind of like speak to me. Was that it? I think that was good. Um, I think that was fun. And then Snowcap for sooner than I was expecting necessarily. Yeah, I guess. Guessing it was Mercury.